Hey guys, thank you so much for waiting to hear about my thoughts on the Riverdale finale because I wasn't here last week, and hopefully you've had a chance to watch the video that I uploaded earlier today where I told you pretty much everything I thought about the finale. But I also wanted to talk to you guys in a live chat to see what you guys thought, also leading up to tonight's finale, which I'm excited for because I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And just from what all the cast members are saying, I don't feel like it's going to be like a throwaway episode. So I'm excited for that. And apparently a lot of stuff went down and people got injured, which is not good because they got injured like in real life. So I'm just kind of wondering how crazy is it that people were getting injured. So that makes me excited for the episode. But I want to shout out Deja, McCara, Chillzone, Ralph, J. Ivy, Julian, Mr. HOD, Marissa. Thanks so much for being here. And hopefully I can get to everyone's comments in this chat. I will definitely try to. Thank you, Fred, for staying up for this chat. But anyway, if you hadn't had a chance to watch the video, I'll just tell you what I thought quickly about the finale. As you guys know, I did not want an adult to be the one who was the killer of Jason, so that was kind of a bummer. But if you watch the video that I did with my final theory, my final guesses about the killer, the one I did the week before this episode aired, I said it either would be one of the parents or Kevin, because at that point, you know, in the show, really no one else could be the killer. So I knew most likely it would either be Penelope or her and her husband or the husband. And from what it looks like, it's just the husband. I don't think the mom was in on it, but you never know. She might have been. But we also had so much other stuff going on in the finale, which was helpful. Not finale. I keep saying it's a finale because usually when a killer is revealed, it's the finale. But in this episode, but I read a lot of your comments on my video where I talked about my thoughts, and they were very mixed. Some people thought it was great, and some people said it was a disappointing reveal. But I did enjoy the other aspects to this show, to this episode. We have supposedly Mr. Blossom killing himself, or some people were wondering, did the wife kill him or whatever? And then we found out that what was in those barrels wasn't really the sticky maple. It was actually drugs. So I believe that he had been working with the serpents for quite some time. The problem is, and maybe they said this in this episode, but I was literally dying, I was like trying to watch it because I was like dying of exhaustion, like wanting to go to sleep last night, but trying to make it through. But did they say anything about prison time for FP? Obviously the other guy who was involved, who was a serpent, I guess killed himself or was killed. I feel like he was killed. So I definitely think that, you know, FP is going to have to go to prison. I mean, we saw him rolling up Jason's body. He was concealing a murder. I mean, I don't know, maybe they addressed that, but I feel like he's going to go to prison for a little while because you just cannot, you know, hide a murder that way and a dead body, and he put him in the freezer and everything. I was happy that we got to see like what led up to Jason's death and like some of his final moments, but I do feel like we were kind of missing out on the fact that we really never got to know Jason. And maybe that isn't the point, because it's not really the point of the show, like who killed him, because we're going to move on from that and there'll be a new mystery next season. It's not all about his death, but I just kind of always wanted to know more about Jason, you know. But it sounds like, you know, everything that Polly was saying, which I always question, it sounds like that was the truth. Like he wanted to run away with her, and everything that she said and like him faking his death and everything was true. So let me get to some comments now. So Ralph is saying FP will probably get 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I mean, also for the kidnapping. So I feel like if he doesn't go to jail, then that's a huge mistake in the show, you know. Julian wanted Kevin to be the killer since oh, thank you, that my theory was amazing. Well, you know, I mean, this was definitely a show that I kind of struggled with and really wanted it to be Polly, and then it just didn't make sense for it to be her. And, you know, I just felt like there wasn't really a clear person. And I just don't think his dad is amazing, but maybe when we find out why he killed him, we'll be like more happy with it. But I know some people were happy with it anyway. Tomas, thank you so much for being here. Deja says it doesn't make sense that a man with a lot of money killing Jason himself when he could have hired someone else to do it. Well, and it was so cold. I mean, we saw him shoot him. I mean, everyone else saw that video. So it was really cold and brutal, and like it seems like he would have been really angry at him to do that, and I just don't get it, you know? Oh, hi, Jay. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, good to see you. Nature Isle Lover says, do I think that Cheryl or Mrs. Blossom made or killed Cliff for killing Jason? That's, that's the question, and I'm not so sure. Like, we think he hung himself, but maybe, they killed him and then made it look like a suicide. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know, but I really feel like the point of this show is not who was Jason's killer. I think it's just about this like crooked town and how everyone has dark secrets. And unfortunately, a lot of the dark secrets are from the adults and not so much the teens. Ralph says kidnapping and not telling anybody about the body is the worst thing that he did. I mean, I feel like he's gonna have to go to jail for that. I mean, especially him wrapping up the dead body, putting it in the freezer. Like, you just don't do that without going to jail. Marissa says, so was the story true that they capsized the boat and then he was kidnapped, or did she know more? I mean, I feel like we were led to believe that she wasn't in on it. Cheryl wasn't in on it at all, but maybe you guys took that a different way. I don't know. But as William's saying, you can't wait to see what the new mystery storyline is tonight. It sounds really juicy. I hope it's not just the cast playing it up because they want to make sure we watch, because I think that's important. Like, if you want it, I feel like it will be good, because if you want to do that killer reveal before the finale, they must have something pretty interesting planned for tonight, because why do a throwaway episode? If they don't have anything major planned, they would have just saved the killer reveal for the finale, right? Sarah says, you actually really like the reveal. You're happy you don't have to wait 7 seasons for it. Absolutely. And your boyfriend was really upset that it wasn't Kevin. I mean, I still feel like Kevin is shady. Maybe he'll be shady later on in another way, but I don't know. Fred says Jughead is being sent to a foster home because he doesn't have a parent. FP is going to have a pretty long prison sentence. I'm wondering, like, Jughead's mom definitely didn't sound interested in seeing him or anything, but I'm wondering if she'll come back into play if his dad goes to prison, or if he'll just go like live with Archie. Tomas is wondering if anyone noticed we'd never heard Jason's voice. Yeah, it was just kind of really weird how they played out the entire storyline with him, and they really did not let us know much about him. So I guess there was a reason for that, but I don't know. Birkin says you really like the fact that the Coopers are actually like the Blossoms. So we learned something that I didn't see anyone predict. You must be a genius if you predicted it, that the Coopers are actually the Blossoms, and that Polly and Betty are third cousins to Cheryl and Jason, which is, really kind of weird, because everyone wondered if Archie was related to Jason. So I'm guessing he's not, but it's funny because there were so many weird scenarios where it made us think that they were wanting to lead us down that path. So I guess not. But that was just a really big bombshell. And then the fact that Polly realized like her twins come from like hooking up with a cousin, which is gross. But they had no idea. So it's not like Polly or Jason knew, so it's not really their fault, Makara says you just wish they wouldn't have had so many characters outwardly suspect the killer. It made it underwhelming. Yeah, I just really, someone told me who the killer was before I watched it, but even if I hadn't known, I think I would have been like, huh, I don't know how to get back. It won't let me. Oh wait, I'm back. Yay! Okay. Sorry, there's just been so many issues with this today. I don't know. I totally lost my train of thought. Yes, I think I was answering someone's question. If you guys remember, let me know, or whoever I was talking to, let me know. Marissa says, wonder if Polly will have an abortion now that she knows the truth about her and Jason. I don't know how far along she is, but I don't know what's going to happen with that situation. Like, I don't know if they're going to have the babies on the show, if she's still going to be a main player on the show, if she has the babies. I don't know. Sammy says, you were so happy that we got the killer reveal the episode before the finale. You look forward to learning what happened and what else is going to happen. I am definitely really interested in this finale. So I think that, I think it has a lot of potential. I mean, I hope so. Yeah, as Makara is saying, I think it is too late for an abortion, to be honest. I think so. Sarah says, you and your boyfriend cannot handle Polly's face when she found out Jason and her were related. It was like classic look of just shock and disgust. And she did a great job doing that. And I think Ralph mentioned that on my channel earlier. It was like well played by the actress who plays Polly. Chillzone says, what if they kill somebody big tonight to set up for season 2? It would be great, so we have something to look forward to. Yeah, I mean, there may be like a really big cliffhanger in this episode, and I think that would be awesome. Bergen hopes that Archie has a bigger role in the next mystery. He definitely didn't really have a big role at all, so I think that would be really, really cool. And Cassie's asking what I think is the mystery for next season, and I really have no idea, and that kind of makes me excited. So I'm hoping to be surprised and hoping it's something interesting that's going to really get people excited and stick around for season 2 when we're going to meet Hiram and everything. So they definitely kind of mentioned that in last week's episode. So, you miss Mrs. Grundy, says Andy. Like some people were definitely like absolutely sure that she was Jason's killer. And I was like, oh my God, I hope not. So I'm glad that she wasn't. But do I think she will come back? People ask me that like every week. I don't know. It's funny because as a lot of you people say like you hate her, I get so many comments about her. I think some of you secretly like her. Sarah hopes that someone dies in the next episode. Well, yeah, I'm hoping something really big happens. And I think that it will because, again, if they didn't have anything to really shock us and surprise us for this episode, they just would have ended it with the killer reveal. So there has to be a reason why they did that the week before. And from everything that the cast is saying, it sounds like some stuff is going to go down. People were injured and everything. So Tomas is disappointed that the Pussycats were barely involved in the mystery. I don't really understand the point of them. I know, obviously, that they're central characters in the comic. But I don't know what the point of them on the show is. And it's kind of weird to me that they just kind of do some music and then they're not there half the time. And maybe that's just to sell music on iTunes or something. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with the show, especially with the CoverGirl promotion. So I'm really glad that they didn't take an episode where they're revealing a killer to promo CoverGirl. That didn't go on last week. And I'm really hoping it won't go on this week because that's just ridiculous to me when they do those crazy promos. Like it's almost like the Truman Show or something if you've seen that movie. So I definitely think that this episode is going to end in like a cliffhanger. And just to let you guys know, now that I'm back, I'm going to be able to do my normal reaction type of video. So I will record my live reaction and then have that uploaded later tonight. And also we will be having our final live chat tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, about the finale. So I hope you guys can make it. And if not, I totally understand. It will be uploaded to my channel. Cassie says that you hope they do Sabrina the Teenage Witch. There's been a lot of talk about Sabrina being a cast member or a character, I should say, in next season. So that definitely could happen. Firkin says the CoverGirl promotion is just so stupid. Yeah, I hate it, Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. Deja says, you kind of figured that the Pussycats were just background music. I really feel that's what they're being used for. I think they're just being used to make money for the show with iTunes, And William's asking if I think we'll meet Sabrina. Yeah, I think there's a good possibility, but I don't know. I just feel like I've heard a lot from you guys that she's going to be around in season 2. And, I'm just kind of wondering, are we going to meet Hiram tonight? I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I did, but not, honestly, I kind of wish or kind of am glad that I don't know what's going to happen because I think that it's better to be surprised, especially because I get spoiled so much. It's just like, I'm actually going to watch this live and no one's going to be able to tell me like what happens. And I'm just excited by that. I think sometimes it's just good to not know and just be honestly surprised. Hi, Patricia from Brazil. Thank you so much for being here. Makara says, do I think that Polly would have actually gotten an abortion if she'd known earlier, or that her and Jason would have broken up before if they'd known? That's a tough question. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a position that like nobody wants to be in. That's some news that nobody wants to hear. So I don't know. I think it's interesting that they brought that out in the show, especially having her pregnant. Not just like it'd be bad enough if they were dating, but like she's pregnant. So I don't know. Thank you, Chase. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Thank you. Andy says, what if they killed Jason's dad tonight? Well, didn't he already die in the last episode? Or do you mean like we see what happened? Like we see that he didn't commit suicide. Sarah is surprised that Reggie wasn't a bigger character. I think the guy who played him has left the show from what I'm been told. Right. Ralph is saying maybe they will kill off Reggie instead of recasting him. So yeah, the guy who plays Reggie is leaving or has left the show because he's on 13 Reasons Why, which has been renewed for a second season. So I don't know. That's a good question. Like, what are they going to do with him? Yeah, Chillzone's asking what if Polly dies tonight? And yeah, I mean, they could probably get rid of her, honestly. I don't really want her to because I kind of like her now, but that would clear up all of the weird, like, having babies with your cousin storyline. Lena likes that you don't know what this last episode will be about. You're clueless, and that's good. I think so. I think sometimes it's good. I know some of you guys really like to know what's going to happen. I've seen people say, like, they look and read and try to find, you know, like, spoilers or potential spoilers. But just for me, I'm somebody who doesn't like knowing. Like, it's so much fun to be surprised, you know. Yeah, Sammy, I heard that they're going to recast Reggie, so I don't know. I don't think Veronica's gonna die, Julian. Like, she's just too much main, you know, too much of a main character. Firkin's asking who's my fave character so far. Well, I really like Betty. I've liked her from the beginning as one of my faves, but I definitely really like her mom now, and I think that's just like heavily influenced from Twin Peaks, and I don't know, like, if it's she became like more likable to me after I started watching Twin Peaks. So it could just be that I'm influenced by liking her character on Twin Peaks. But other people have been saying like they like her more too, and I don't think everyone has watched Twin Peaks. So maybe it's not just me. Maybe I just do feel like she's not as crazy and mean as she seemed at first. I don't know. Ralph says, as gross as it is having a baby with your third cousin would not affect it genetically. Yeah, so it is still gross, but it's not as bad as like if they were brother and sister and then it could like have birth defects and stuff. I mean, but it's gross. And I mean, I think it would bother anyone to know that, you know, you didn't know you were dating your cousin and then you're pregnant by your cousin and you're this far along in your pregnancy. And like, I think it would bother people. Like, you know, I mean, it would bother me is what I'm trying to say. Mila says, you think that Cheryl will kill herself because of her daddy issues? I don't really see that happening. I feel like she's too big of a character too, especially this early on in the show. But I do think something kind of big is going to happen. I don't know. William says, have I seen the names and character descriptions for the 5 new? No, I need to find out some more information for Scream. I haven't really checked on that since I've been gone, but I will try to look that up. So Brett is watching Twin Peaks. That's awesome. I'm glad you are. I finished the series, and it's going to premiere on Showtime in 2 weeks. So make sure that you guys are caught up if you're wanting to be in on my videos and everything. I still need to watch the movie that goes along. I think the movie Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I did tear her pic, yes. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me now? Oh no, I don't know how to fix this audio. It tells me, but apparently it's not. You can hear me now? I'm a beautiful mime princess? Thanks. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. Oh, so that comment that someone said was so funny. Leonel says I sounded just like Cheryl's dad. Well, it's not like they're brother and sister. No, I'm not like advocating that. It's still really gross. And the bad thing is that he knew the whole time and he didn't bother telling like Jason is just sick, you know? Ralph is saying Scream Season 3 is produced by Queen Latifah. Yes, I did a video about this. You think it's going to be more urban and more scary movie feel? Well, scary movie is like a comedy, like a mockumentary. Probably not a mockumentary, but it's, you know, it's to make fun of the horror movies. So honestly, if it is like scary movie and they're making fun of Scream and like those type of horror shows, I'm not going to watch it because I don't like those stupid scary movies. Deja says you hope we learn more about Betty's mental health issues and Alice's past as a serpent and what happened at the homecoming because FP didn't fully explain it, what happened that day. Yes, me too. All of that, absolutely. And I don't know if that's going to happen tonight, but I hope if not, it happens next season. Firkin says you think having a relationship with a third cousin isn't ideal, but not as gross as everyone has been saying. Up until a few decades ago, it was normal that cousins got married, but you don't support it. I remember there was a lot of drama going down when like on PLL, I think with Cece and Jason. And I don't know, like I said, it was really disgusting because I think they're cousins. I think it's kind of the same situation. And then like people were mad and they're like, no, in some countries it's acceptable. So I don't know. I mean, you know, there's people here from all over the globe that watch this. So maybe it's acceptable where you guys live. I don't know. To me, it's really weird and it's definitely not acceptable here. And I think it wasn't acceptable for like Polly, you know, and everybody else on the show. But if it is where you're from, like, I'm not trying to, I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know. Like everyone has different customs and everything. So to me, it's very weird, but I get, you know, yes, it's not as bad as brother and sister or like mom and son. Like I really can't with any of that. That's way too much. But I think the great thing to remember here is that Polly and Jason were not aware that they were related. So it wasn't like they knew they were related and they entered into this relationship and, you know, became pregnant and everything. So, I mean, it's weird, but it's definitely not their fault. I do really blame Mr. Blossom, who didn't seem to think it was weird and also didn't, you know, he wouldn't tell his son, like, look, I've got to tell you this, you know, you're related to her. You know, I think really he might have stopped dating her. He wouldn't even had to kill him or whatever if he just told him, like, you're related to her. This is not good. I'm sorry I haven't told you. Like, couldn't he have avoided the whole murder thing? I don't know. Maybe he murdered him for some other reason. I don't know. Oh my, some cray comments on here. Nikki, is it Nikki or Nixie? I can't remember, but you're saying Jason and Cece are first cousins. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's even worse. In the US, you can marry fourth cousin and out from there. So Marissa says it's normally legal to marry your second or third cousin in most states. I don't really know. I don't know how it is in everybody's state, but yeah, but it's weird, you know, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, if you are okay with that, like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to think, but I think for certain parts of this country and in the United States, it is weird. But again, it's good to remember that they didn't enter into that relationship knowing they were related, and obviously Polly was grossed out about it. I never did watch Slasher. I know a lot of people told me to watch that, and I never did. You know what? I was thinking the other day about, what is that show that I love? That British show that's about, like, the Twilight Zone. I can't even think of the name of it. I can't wait for that to come back. Does anybody know when that's coming back? Because that is my show. I love it. I've been watching Girl Boss, but I've not been watching it since I've been gone. It's probably a show that a lot of you guys wouldn't like because it's not a mystery. It's kind of a girl show. I don't know. But I really like it. I need to get back into that. Is it Nixie or Nikki? You're saying the incest is called royal inbreeding done by rich families to keep the bloodline pure. Interesting. I don't know. Do you think that's what he wanted to go on there, Mr. Cooper, or did he want to prevent that? I don't know. So yeah, this has turned into a whole conversation about cousins hooking up. Who do I think is the best actor or on the show? You love the actor who plays FP. Have you watched Scream, the movie? Because he has a big role in that. And if you like him, that's Skeet Ulrich, then you'll like him on that. But yeah, I love Madchen Amick, who plays Betty's mom. And I like Betty, who is Lily, right? Black Mirror, Black Mirror. Does anybody know when that's coming back? I feel like it needs to be soon, but I think the last season came out in October. Deja feels like Jason found out that he and Polly were cousins and he was threatening to tell her, but the dad wasn't having it and killed him. So maybe, yeah, maybe. But at that point, it's like too late. She was like pregnant and everything. Andy's asking who planted the gun in FP's trailer. Did we figure that out? I was thinking it was Mr. Blossom, right? Who's my favorite character on Scream? Well, everyone's missing from Scream now, so I guess I would say, I don't know. I really liked Brooke. I don't know. Okay. This conversation is just all over the place. Like most of it's about Scream, and then a lot of it's about incest or whatever. And I guess technically it's not incest if it's like third cousins, but oh my God, I think we need a new topic here. I don't know. But anyway, yes. And something else that has been requested for me to do that's not even about Riverdale that I'm going to do is a reaction video about season 2 of 13 Reasons Why. So I'll do that in the next couple of days because I am not going to be doing PLL next week, sadly, because it's not on, and then Riverdale's not on. So we're going to miss both of those. Clifford planted the gun. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Well, thanks, Callie. I appreciate that because she's super pretty. Deja says maybe he found out she was pregnant, and when he found out she was, he wanted to run away with her. You don't know. I don't know. I mean, when Cassie's talking about Archie here, I kind of wish that we would get more from him. Like, I don't see his point right now. I'm with you. Yeah, the Scream thing is bad. I mean, I am going to give the season 3 a chance, but I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I don't know if we'll like the characters. I just really like the characters on the original Scream 1 and 2. And it's funny because so many people, well, quite a few people have commented on my Scream videos where I'm talking about the reboot and told me they hated the cast. And I'm like, okay, so, you know, maybe MTV has somewhat of a point here. I don't know. But for me, I really like them. It doesn't mean I wouldn't like another cast, but I just really like them, I guess. Relianal says that's good. The TV shows get us talking about these topics. I mean, I feel like this whole live chat has been about people having sex with their family, and it's just like, and we just keep talking about it. Can I do a reaction to the new Scream characters? Okay, so has that been released? Is that what you guys are telling me? Like the people who are playing the roles and everything? I didn't even know that was going on. So sure, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't even know that that must have happened while I was gone. Deja says you meant maybe he found out that they were cousins before she was pregnant. When she told him that she was pregnant, then they decided to run away together. Maybe, definitely maybe. Do I have a horror series film channel? No, I just have this channel. I don't even know how to do like, one time I tried to do like a second one because I was going to do vlogs, which I'm not very good at. And I couldn't even figure that out. I think I'll just stick to this one for now. Ralph says if Jason and Polly got married, they would have to take a blood test and that would reveal if they were related. So I guess that's never going to happen because he's not around and, you know, now she knows the truth. Birkin didn't like the cast that well. You didn't like the second season too. And I love the second season. So, you know, everyone, like I've said before, thinks differently. So, you know, who would I like the next victim in Riverdale to be? I don't know. I feel like, okay. So what the heck here? I'm sorry. There's some weird stuff going on in the comment section. Okay. Anyway. I don't know if this is encouraging some weird comments, but there's some things we just can't say on here. We're just going to have to block that person. All right. Anyway, we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon, but in a couple of hours or less, 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll have the finale, and I'm excited to watch that and do my reaction and have that up for you tonight. I think it's going to be really interesting, and hopefully they don't talk about people having sex with family members because, you know, I don't want to talk about that all day tomorrow in a live chat, but I'm still doing my live chat at 5 p.m. tomorrow. And thank you guys so much for sticking around with me for this season of Riverdale. I'll definitely be back for season 2. Let me check on the news that was released, I guess, this past week about Scream 3, and I'll definitely try to do another video about that and let you know what I think about the new characters and everything, because a lot of people seem to be wanting to know. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great night, and can't wait to see what you guys think about the finale. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.